Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. We're going to talk about the Tribunal, BP next week. I'm curious to see, there's a link in the right-hand side in case anybody would like to join the show. I am curious as far as how much lag people are experiencing the 116 and above. The ship, the targets that have the Valkyrie and the Warbird carrier that spawns the PT boats. I'm curious. I'm having a lot of issues with it. I'm not sure if everybody else is. So, but I think we have some workarounds for some of you, maybe not all of you. But let's introduce everybody. Lady Cat.
Hello, hello, and I have issues too.
Game related?
Yeah, that too.
Okay, all right. And Magic Mike.
I was going to use that joke, but I'm so darn glad. Thanks.
Kenny.
I am just one big issue.
Okay, I'm ready. And Derpy.
My issue is 10 million points.
Okay. And they're going to shut down your state. And KB.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
All righty. So we're getting a lot of, okay, it stopped. All righty. Sort of. Somebody's got a fan going or something. Not right. All right, let's go to the calendar.
Oops.
And somebody's still got a...
Calendar.
All right,
Calendar.
it was KB. All right. All right, we right now are in the June raid tribunal, and we saw the Saw Factory's been delayed. Next week we have a lot of stuff. We have VXP weekend, so build bare ass ships at this point just to get them out and get them ranked. I clicked one more. If you have problems like Kenny had, I don't know if we should break in here and let Kenny explain what happened. We have VXP weekend coming next week, and then we have the Tier 9 Skirmish TLC, which also gives out VXP. I think it's enough to get a ship, maybe 2 Scald. And again, I also expect that we're going to get more of the Freedom Fist limited weapon available at that point in time. So, Ken, you want to talk about your issue or your
My dumbass moment?
Yeah.
Where I didn't collect the chests from the last FM?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's I'm not sure how many people are in the same boat as Kenny, but if you don't have the ability to get 4 blankish ships, I would definitely put a weapon on them, preferably the Freedom Fist limited weapon. If you can only get 3 up, there is a pretty good chance, if we go by historical reference, that in the Tier 9 Skirmish TLC, there'll be enough to get at least one ship Scald out of that as far as the XP tokens that are awarded there. So let's go backwards and then forwards real quick. Forwards and backwards. I'm sorry. We want to go to BP next week.
Well, can we go back to what before we do that? Kind of something on that calendar that's not right. But we can do this and then go back.
Okay. All right. we are, as I mentioned on Wednesday's show, I had expectation that we are going to get a new engine based on when we got the Sacred Artifact engine. We're getting Old Glory. I'm assuming if we go by past events that it'll have a limited redeem of 2 per week. So, and again, the 141 is probably going away. And beach party briefing, da 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 da. Okay, but let's go back. Okay, with the idea that we are going to have on 6/16, we're going to have an FM, and you're going to be able to pick up 2 of the Old Glory engines. And then the following week, 6/23, we'll be able to get another 2. So you will be able to get enough engines to do the Tier 9 skirmish TLC. So that's one of the things I wanted to let everybody know, is that you will have enough to put engines on your Mutineer if the rest of it is going right, in order to do that skirmish TLC with the Mutineer as opposed to the Riot. So that's
However, or most of us won't have it enough built, even with an engine, to do a TLC.
yeah, you don't know, but some people build in different ways and whatnot. So do you want to go back to where you thought where the calendar was wrong?
On 6:30, a special activity for Zealot Pegasus. Isn't that the one on 6/16?
We don't know yet.
Okay, but we have a special activity.
Yeah, but we can jump to that assumption. A lot of these things are wrong when they're released.
Well,
but,
right. But you look here, we got the beach party bingo. Whatever the hell the beach party.
Yeah, I can only go with what's been released to us.
Okay. Well, I just think it's wrong.
I don't know. Well, yeah, it could very likely it could be wrong, but we don't have information that contradicts with it yet.
Well, this contradicts with it. The VXP weekend, we also have a special.
But we don't. But we don't have BP next week. Because you're already
Right.
going to the following week.
Right, but let me go back. On 6/16, the ships that are going to be needed. We know the Mutineer for VXP. What ships do we need for the beach party bingo that's on 6/17? What ships do we need for that activity?
I thought
Yep.
they told us at some point, but I can't remember.
There's nothing listed on 6/16, so I'm assuming we'll need the Zealot and the Pegasus for beach party bingo.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're trying to make me say, but yeah,
I'm just saying,
I mean, what's in BP next week could be happening on 6/30. I don't know. There could be nothing on 6/30. Again,
All right,
only one.
I know you can't answer it, but I see a discrepancy somewhere or something. It's not right. But okay, let's just go for it.
Yeah. I mean, that could be, but I'm assuming that week is still going to be there. Otherwise, well, I don't. It could be a different special activity. It could be.
Okay.
It
could be.
I don't know because it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks further ahead. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So I don't know. We've covered a lot. Does anybody have anything they want to say associated with any of the calendar stuff that's upcoming?
No.
Just one small thing. I was looking at the High Seas Heresy TLC. I assume we'll have one identical for the Mutineer. You can get 90k VXP, so that's enough to rank one hole up to like 73%. So if you can only get 3 blanks done in time for VXP weekend, you won't be too bad.
Well, it was High Seas Heresy. I mean, are you including all the masteries?
Yes.
Okay, because I remember you could get. I don't know. Okay, I thought at least historically, maybe I haven't looked at the most recent ones. I thought you were able to get at least one ship up, but maybe I don't. But things
It
may
was
have.
90K worth. Let's see, and then I'm looking at the CM diary for May, which tells you it came out like May 30th. Tells you what's happening in June. It
Okay.
says the special event is on Thursday, June 18th. So that's consistent with this week.
Okay.
And does it say anything about any event on the 30th?
The 30th isn't on the June calendar for whatever reason.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be a different event. Sort of hard to tell. I try to track these things, but sometimes I don't always get it. The answers. So, yeah. And Mitchell says there might be a LTO for VXP. And there's a potential that you would also have those available in pillage as well. So, but I would recommend getting 4 blankets shipped out and not building from the 9s, because we don't know what the Old Glory is going to entail as far as, last at the beginning of this raid cycle, when we got the Sacred Artifact engine, we were told during the raid, which seemed to cause a little bit of confusion because a lot of people wanted to claim it because there was a picture of it. But at this point in time, I guess we will not know until Tuesday of next week when the briefing drops. So,
at least we know it's coming, so that's good.
Yeah. Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. I guess we can move on. If Saw Factor, we can skip over that. We don't need to talk about that anymore. Tribunal. All right. Has anybody besides me experienced lag in the 116? And I haven't even bothered after the 116 to hit the next target up. It seems like it's either the X1 auras that we have, or all of the Valkyries with the spotlight auras that have that's causing it very difficult to control your ships.
I blame the Valkyries.
Not too bad in the 116, but the 906, forget it.
Okay.
I can't drive a 906.
I can do pretty good in the 906 until all the Valkyries start showing up like all at once. And
Wow.
it just goes all to hell. Can't control anything. It's jumping ahead. I don't know where I'm at.
And that's after a fresh clean and all those things they tell you to do and all that.
Yeah, 116 is super, super laggy too. It's not as bad as the 906 though. So the 906 is a million times worse than the 116 for me. But the 116 is bad. I started just to auto the 116 because I can't deal with it.
I've been ordering all 3 of them.
Did you do the 906? How do you do in there?
Not bad, actually. If I'm able to drive it with the remote raider, I can get it 4 minutes and 42 seconds.
Whoa.
Yeah, that requires the
Repair time?
I cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Holy
crew.
crap.
I tried and tried and tried. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, it requires owning the crew, which is not available to most people.
Yeah, I don't get the lucky things. But without the crew, how do you do? Or have you tried it without the crew?
Hold on, I get my ships out now. Give me a second.
Okay.
I think I drive it for the first one is always the best one. By the time I drive a second one or a third one, I mean the lag is unbearable. But it gets worse over time. So it's like whatever's causing the lag doesn't stop. I don't know how to explain it. But I was getting like over about an hour damage on the 906. Maybe a little more.
I'm gonna do it with no crew, so my crew's expired.
Okay. Do you want to share or?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Forrest.
Sure.
With no crew, okay. Hold on. I'm still getting to the target.
TSM 16 to 18 minutes and the 116 with the Sea Serpent. Is that a blind auto, or maybe you need to come on, because I'm getting the best I've gotten on the 116 autoing is 26 minutes. And that's with, I group them and then auto them. So maybe you should pop up there, unless,
Oh, someone's already been in this one. Let me back out.
Okay.
And, oh, you can't back out. Oh, well.
Okay. And you're still not sharing, but
I thought I hit. Hold on. Me. Shit. Pardon my language.
there we go.
I thought I clicked it.
No problem. All right. I'm going to put you to full screen. There we go.
And I'm gonna watch. So if you need the slides, let me know.
Somebody's already been in this one, so not going to be
Okay.
accurate.
So you're not, are you autoing or are you?
I'm autoing.
Okay. So, but there was no damage to your ships coming in, right?
There was no damage, no.
Okay. I think we're going to be over 4 minutes.
No, I don't have the remote radar on, no.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying is the remote
Oh,
radar
yeah.
is, anybody have a prediction here? I'm going,
It's going to be about an hour and a half, maybe 2.
yeah, we're not, we're still a long ways away, because right now you're probably at about an hour. Oh, no.
Right now, I guess an hour and a half.
Okay.
Your ships are all split up.
Yeah, I know.
And see how
Oh,
number four is not moving right now, which means it's not spawning drones.
All right, let me get them together and I'll hit us.
Hey, Kraken Duck, you're on.
Hello.
Hello.
And Hefe, I figured out what's going on with the calendar. I think you misread the one that was posted by Gilly, which I did too.
You proved it. I don't know. Okay. That's not normally the way it goes. So, usually the opposite.
It's the opposite. I'll show you in a second.
Oh, somebody's making noise.
Oh, damn.
Who's doing that?
I don't know.
1 hour
Okay.
and 29 minutes.
Okay, and you got how many points out of that one?
I
Yes,
didn't
you-
even look.
Yeah.
But I know I'm sitting at 82 million right now.
Wow.
Okay. I am curious to see if he's driving for 16 to 18 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I thought TSM was autoing for 16 to 18 minutes. Mike, do you want to stack an auto on, this might be helpful for people, stack an auto on the 116 with probably a Sea Serpent crew?
Sure.
I know you don't like to use the crews, but
No, I'll use them. I have some. I just not a crew guy. That's all.
yeah,
It does make a big difference on this one, though. I guarantee you. Okay, let me share.
While you're doing that, I have a quick question for TSM. Are you getting lag when you're getting that low of damage? I've gotten about 19 minutes, I think, is the lowest I've gotten driving the 116. But sometimes it's more, and a lot of it's because of lag. So just wondering if you were having that problem.
Hefe, do you want me to talk about the calendar thing real quickly?
I
Go
okay,
ahead
we can.
if you want. I'm ready when you are.
Well, let's go with Mike first.
Well, Derpy just went away, so.
He went away.
So go ahead,
Okay,
Mike.
okay.
Okay, 116.
Come in at 3 o'clock. About 4 o'clock.
Yeah, 4
There,
o'clock.
I think.
Oh my
It's not
god.
it. I'll be right away, and I'll just escape, and we'll try.
Talk about lag. Holy cow.
And then 9:06.
Is that good?
It looks okay. I mean, you can just aim. I'm gonna aim. Well, I aim a little higher, but it's all good. It just seems. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that it's hard to tell because there's a lot of variation in this. When we try to artificial it, because your timing with the moving of the of all these ships, because a lot of times mine go above that island as opposed to below. I'm not sure if it makes a huge difference as far as timing, but you're going to see a lot of variation in this target as far as damage. Because you see how he snuck by right there, didn't even hit on auto, didn't even hit the spotlight. So there is a lot of variation in this target. I've got it from using a very similar technique, coming in at 4 o'clock, bunching my ships, and then just putting on auto and walking away. I've gotten it down to 26 minutes. Doing it on semi-auto. I'm not actually, just bunching your ships and walking away.
I tried it and I got 39 minutes.
Yeah. And like I said, there's a lot of variation because, these ships are moving with these spotlight auras that are going to, cause you a good amount of damage. So timing is everything. Like he snuck by that one, but I'm sure he's going to run through some other ones.
Yeah, but the damage bar doesn't look too great.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little over a half hour probably. I have one actually that I recorded with no crew that I drove for under 17 minutes, and I have a recording of that. So, in case you want to see it, if not, it's no skin off. I don't care.
I wonder, I've heard before that if you don't put a crew on, some people tend to do better on some targets. Do you think this is one? Yeah.
I'm just not a crew guy. Because I repair after every hit just about all the time, except for the end of the night, I don't put a crew on because it's just wasting time. That's the reason I don't use them.
Red
I'm damage averse.
Aren't we all?
Okay, so you've killed pretty much. So now you just have the last two. Your damage, see, this is where some of the randomness comes in. You saw most of your little puppy dogs went up above and around the mountain and are dying up there. It's not your fault, but
I think it's going to be a little higher than we expected it to be.
Okay.
It's less than 40 minutes.
I believe it.
Would be my expectation. So, all right. 1, 2.
And I wasn't paying too much attention. What's the upgrade level on your ships there, Mike?
I'm sorry. What was that?
What's
He's
the
X1.
upgrade level?
I'm
He's all
X1.
X1?
I bought the thing. So I didn't have more corrosive evaded.
Yeah, corrosive can't. Okay. Yeah, Forrest, you're there. We just have a lot of people. I'm juggling people. So 36 minutes.
Yeah, 36 minutes.
That's great. I get more than that because I'm on all X1. I get like 50, 55 doing that method. But that's 36 minutes damage is fantastic.
I stole a pretty decent build. So.
Yeah. And so I'm just trying to throw that out for people that are having a lot of lag issues. that this kind of thing, if you're at X1, is possible. So 36 is decent. Like I said, I get 28 to 40 depending on the timing of everything. So it's, if you're at X1 with all the drones and survival, especially if you're driving and taking more damage than that, you know.
I think the second time I did it was still within that like 30 some minute. It was much less than what I just took.
Okay,
Don't know if you want to see the recording I did, or doesn't matter. It's up to you.
Well, I think driving, a lot of people have figured that out because Derpy did it. I don't know. At this point, I'm thinking about, because we got a lot of people that want to join. So I'm going to turn some people over at this point. So
you drop me back down.
You dropped me down, but I'd like to hear how Simba's 906 went. Then you can.
Right now, I'm lagging so bad it's not even funny.
Can we see it?
I am sharing, but it's jerking so bad.
Yep.
Okay, we go back to.
See, that's not been for me.
Yeah. This is the problem that people are having.
I put in a ticket today on that long drawn out test the computer, all the stuff they wanted me to do.
Yeah, they want you to test your internet speed, and they want you to do a trace route, and they want you to do a DX diagnosis and send it all to them. I've already gone through that because I'm having the same issue.
Simba's happening to all of us.
Yeah, and in the last 4 letters, my Social Security, I didn't understand why they wanted that.
20 minutes later, I had somebody try to get into my PC. I had an intruder alert come up. I was really annoyed with that because with the VPN, they're the only one they had the numbers only.
Holy cow.
So Kick says hacking the computer.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening, but yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's how bad it was for me, Simba, last night. I went back to autoing 160.
Yeah, this is a 906, and I'm clicking in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, I get it.
And you're seeing what it's doing. This is crazy.
Yeah, it was yesterday for me. Yeah, horrible.
It wasn't quite that bad for me ever, but it was pretty bad.
Ships.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's all the wave spawning in. Plus, I think the Valkyrie auras have something to do with it, and I think that's why this raid is so auto friendly, because we're taking so much damage if we try to drive. I'm not sure about that, but
yeah, and I'd really like to do the 906 because I like the way I'm BAM points I get, before I put it on a long repair.
You guys see where my lines are?
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah, mine wasn't even that bad, but mine was at least moving, although they were jumping.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the spotlight auras that's causing a lot of it.
Has anybody tried turning off all the effects in the background?
I have no effects on.
Mine are all off.
Okay.
And I've tried Flash and I've tried HTML. Which one are you on now, Simba?
Flash.
And I cleared cache and I went through all that. But I could do one. I could do one target. It's just, even though it got laggy, it wasn't killing me. But the third target I tried to do.
All right, it just froze.
Have you recorded this and sent the video to Kix?
Not yet. But I've been having issues like this all day, and I've been trying to prep for people.
Yep.
But now it's live. I have a recording.
Yep. Just point it to the minutes where it is on the show. Well, this is why we're autoing. This is why we want to auto, and this is why we want the remote raider crew. That we can't get.
All right, I'm gonna stop sharing and refresh.
Okay.
I've turned around and asked Kixeye on the forums that some players cannot run the top targets and all that because of this. To why not just go ahead and open the 60s up to the Z-lots? and I ain't got no response on that one.
They're not gonna respond to that.
And such low points. Who's gonna want to sit there? I mean, it's probably better just to auto the 114s.
Well, I'm autoing. I just autoed a 114. I have 52 minutes damage. That's with the Sea Serpent crew. Right now I'm in a 116 and going to see what happens. And right now in the 116, I haven't had any lag.
That's good. Well, that's because Simba stole it.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
When I get out of this, and we'll see what my damage is. And in all actuality, I really don't mind, since I can't. When I drive the 116 and the 114 and the 116, I ended up with over 5 hours damage as a set.
Wow.
So it's just like, I don't mind hitting the lower tier ones. At least I'm getting points.
Well, when Kenny gets back on, he's got a real good point on the 114s. We'll let him explain it.
All right, 52 minutes damage from the 114 and just got out of the 116 total. I've got 2 hours, 45 minutes of damage. So that's an hour, well, say an hour, 45 minutes damage in the 116.
So you're probably better off just sticking to 114s and maybe getting someone to prep the 116s for you.
And
That's pretty good.
Probably. My fleet is, my flag is U3. And I've got one regular at U3 and the rest of them are at U2.
Now let's see what happens after a refresh. That was 41-minute damage. Don't like.
Did you clear cache too?
No.
I think clearing the cache makes it harder if you're on HTML5.
Yeah, because
right. Right.
That's because everything's already been loaded up and you deleted it.
And what crew have you got on?
Remote Raider.
That's another remote raiders. Doing some nice little circles here.
I mean, I've rolled. I used to get them, and I used to use them on shipwrecks. Now I'm not getting them anymore.
I had some saved up.
I've tried.
Okay. I took myself off so other people could join, but
If you want to put me in the back and bring Kenny up so he can explain the
why you can't watch?
the 114 and driving versus sideway.
Okay.
I've got a quick question for everybody.
Go ahead.
I have recorded some videos and everything, but every time I try to upload them to Kickstarter to show them what's going on, it pops up that my videos are too large. How do I shrink them?
You gotta put them on. You gotta put them on YouTube unlisted and send them a link.
I kind of have a problem with that for some reason. Okay, I'll have to do something. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Go to a hosting site. YouTube is the most popular, and just send them a link.
You could try like TikTok too.
No, you can't use TikTok. No, don't listen to Derpy there. Derpy is the king of TikTok at this point, or whatever it's called.
No.
he busts out some just. Yeah, never mind. So, I'm sorry.
All right, I'm still getting a little bit of lag. Not as bad.
So I have two theories.
Okay.
One is that we're being afraid of damaged sources that aren't that powerful, so we're avoiding keeping the purple rings over the drones. So we're going, we're not following in there because that's too damaging. And so we're letting the drones die when they could be continuing.
Yeah.
The other possibility is that just in general, the pattern that we're avoiding, there's a way to test this. I'm going to watch them and try and emulate the exact pattern, but
And you're talking about which target?
116s, because that's where both of them actually, but 114s are the ones where we're obvious. I drive and I take 5 minutes more damage than when I auto, which at first I was completely dismayed by, but I think I'm going to try the theory while we're on the show that if I drive like I don't care where they're going and just follow the drones and not worry about damage as much, I bet I'll do better, because every time I try and drive, I'm like, that's a crazy place to go. But if they're doing better, well, evidently the computer knows best.
Yeah.
Because it's driving right up to those scatterguns that we're all so afraid to get shot at by. We're stopping short of them and all that, trying to drive really well, but evidently
that's causing you to lose your devout zealot frenzy stacks. And
yeah, that's another example of what auto is probably doing, is going after things that are more important than avoiding being shot.
Well, the scatters, if you can keep moving and just zoom past them, you shouldn't get hit with them because you're out running them.
Yeah, except if you're driving, that makes sense. But on auto, they're sitting right under them, or actually being hit by them every freaking time, and it's still taking less damage than if we drive by them. So it's not about motion either. It's something. There's some other dynamic going on, but I think it might be that we're driving like we're used to, as opposed to driving the way we need to.
Well, I don't know. I'm getting better results driving than auto.
In what? In the 114?
In the 114, yeah.
You're the only one I've ever heard say that.
Yeah,
I can do the 114s for about 16 or 17 minutes.
Good for you.
Yeah, but okay.
Driving, but auto was about 30 minutes or thereabouts.
Okay, and what's the upgrade level of your ships?
All top upgrades.
All X1, because I get 19 to 21 minutes autoing, and so it doesn't make a fuckload of difference if I'm going back. And well, it really depends. I guess it really depends on your game. If I auto them, take them back, boom, 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 all instant repair in the dock. But I guess it does make a difference for those couple of minutes if you are not doing that and you are hitting 10 in a row and not repairing in between. What's your...
No, I repair after every one.
Okay, so the difference between 16 minutes and 19 minutes is nothing, right?
Yeah, well, as I said, I was getting about 30 minutes autoing.
Okay, and X1, I think that's because there's no skill in autoing the 114. The 116 takes a little bit of. I still don't remember the 116. I mean, it sounds ridiculous to say autoing and there's a skill associated with it, but the 114, constant entry. So the 116, where you choose to enter and whatnot, does make a big difference in how much damage you're taking.
It's the first time I've ever experienced this, and I'm not very happy about it, I gotta say, because if the game does better than we do driving, that's broken, in my opinion.
But if they call it an auto-friendly target.
Auto-friendly isn't the same thing as auto works better.
Well,
it has never been anyway. I've never had driving be that much, or driving be worse, ever, in 9 years.
Agreed. But when they say this is auto-friendly, and it actually is.
And so it's the 116.
They didn't actually say that about any of the targets in this raid.
Okay.
But the one...
I said it, but they didn't say it.
No, they said it a long time ago. Or
oh my God.
They did say it.
Conceptually, though, they say it's auto-friendly.
They said it about this raid cycle?
Or that's way before, like really early in the first raid cycle, before it even Like in
Yeah,
the strategy,
but what I'm
they
saying,
said one was going to be auto friendly and the other one skill.
yeah,
They-
okay.
Go
But
ahead.
what I'm saying is they're not talking about. They didn't specifically talk about this raid, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but they did, and that's what I'm saying. I'll see if I can find it, but it was like at the beginning of the first raid
Okay.
that when they were telling us what to expect, they said the 2S targets, one was auto friendly and one was the skill one.
But to me, that's a pleasant surprise. I mean, I appreciate that personally. Doesn't mean it's right, but for me it is. I mean, if I can auto it better than I can drive it, that's awesome. Especially if it's the auto target.
Yeah, but it gets really boring, personally for me, because I'm autoing all the targets. I mean, I'm not doing the 9 whatever, but I'm doing the 114 and 116. I'm autoing both of them, and it harkens back to some of the older Facebook games where you just pushed a button and then it made a decision as far as what happens. So there was no.
That's no fun. That part's no fun.
Yeah, and that's, I guess, what I'm alluding to. I hope this isn't a new precedent because it isn't much of a game if driving is worse than autoing.
I have 30 some minutes left on my crew. If you want me to try a 906, I can do that. It's up to you. No problem.
If you want to, I mean, we see what Simba's done, but
that's what I mean.
I stopped sharing.
I want to see the lag difference. I don't
so laggy.
But she's experienced a lot of lag. I was experiencing a lot of lag, and I can refresh everything and try it from fresh and see what happens. If it's of any value. If it's not, then no problem.
That's part of the issue, though, isn't it? The lag is basically pushing people into autoing targets.
Yeah, I would never auto the skill targets or figure out how the best way to auto the skill target is. That's not really my game.
I have to tell you, I'm not using it right now, but I have a new laptop, and it's better than what I have.
It's always our equipment. It's never Kickstarter's fault.
Well, I only can say that because to a little bit of a degree, that is somewhat true. If you have a very old equipment, I think.
And Magic Mike, you've told us that you have very old equipment, right?
Well, my PC is like 4 years. Yes.
I'm sorry.
70. Yes, it's 70. But the 69.5. But but my desktop is like 4 years old. My laptop is like 2 months old, and I do see a big difference. Except I can't see on my laptop; it's too small. So.
Okay. Yeah. But one of the things you might want to do is, if you have the laptop and then a monitor.
Yeah.
I run 2 monitors, and that may help you.
Yeah, I have a very old laptop that I use for watching things, not playing the game. And a 4-year-old PC that I use for playing the game, which isn't too awful bad, but isn't great.
Okay.
I play on the laptop, so
it's going to get changed over to the laptop when the laptop is set up properly, or at least for me.
Were you going to show us something there, Mike?
I was asking you if you wanted me to try the 906.
Okay, and you're
the next half hour.
Okay,
I do need to make a quick pit stop.
Okay. Old equipment. It takes a half an hour, but
well, I have a half hour left on the crew. That's the problem.
Okay. No, I'm just saying as far as because we're jumping back and forth between a lot of stuff, and I think a lot of things that people want to say are getting out. I'm just because I find I'm a little frustrated with this raid. I'm getting points, but it's slow and it's boring.
Yeah, it is. What I'm saying is I'm willing to do what you need me to do, and that's all. and the crew is still good for a half hour. So
I'm wondering if this is a record of just the basics of all the pieces and parts we need, like what people would say are the mandatory parts for the next raid. We're at almost 50 sets. I'd love to have somebody go back and calculate how many sets they had to do. This feels like a lot of sets.
Yeah, and it's like Hefe is saying, it's doing the same thing. It's hitting the 116, parking in the corner, pressing S, or it's hitting the 114 and not even looking.
Yeah.
I guess the targets themselves I think are fairly good. I'd say above average, especially the 906. I like that one for some reason. Most people do, who have the capabilities to do it, but it's sort of boring. And without the lag, these targets are great, but with them, they're difficult to do, and we do have to do a lot of them, and to get the points we need. I mean, everyone needs the Mutineer. Most people are going to get the Mutineer, the new specials, and that includes a limited one, and then also the 10 Freedom Fists if they can.
I've done 44 sets.
It's a lot of points.
You've done 44, Simba? Okay.
44 sets.
Derpy, you said we need 60?
I didn't say we need 60.
I calculated it.
I've been prepping too, so.
But I take back what I said. I got 65 sets last time to get everything I needed. So it's actually better than 50 is better than 65. So
yeah,
I'm now at 85 million. So
yeah, and the rate's far from over. It's just sort of like more. My question is this enjoyable as far as as far as autoing everything and some people, pushed a lot for the auto, but I'm like, okay, we're autoing. So it's, as Drippy described, it's sort of like, okay, I just sit there. And then my main role on this is moving my ships around to get the instant repair, and then that's what I'm doing. It reminds me of Farmville or some other game that I didn't actually play in Farmville, but something where you're just clicking, pushing buttons, and then not doing much else.
And going back and taking your ships out one at a time to repair one ship at a time without a macro or any kind of speedy way to do it. It is like Farmville. Yeah.
So
my corn is ready. I have to click on each one of my.
Okay. What is your username, Kenny, in Farmville?
I don't even remember. I was playing that before I started this game, but I couldn't stand having this game and that game at the same time. It would drive me crazy.
Yeah. Before I played Battle Pirates, I played Backyard Monsters, and then I was in the casual collective, and then Desktop Defender I thought was great, because that was a game you could just play and walk away from, and that was. Did anybody else play Desktop Defenders?
Yeah, I did all of those.
Okay. So, all right. It's been a weird show. I'm not really sure where we should go next. Any ideas? Okay.
No, I'm. We've beaten the raid to death. I'm not sure what else to talk about.
Well, I think there's still more to talk about with the raid. We're still waiting for Mike to queue up him heading the 906 and see what the lag looks like, which is, I think a lot of people have seen the lag themselves. So,
if you want it, I gotta restart. I just went into it.
We're trying to catch somebody right now, so just give me a few.
Okay. Michael wants to talk about builds.
Mutineer builds?
Yeah, I'm assuming Mutineer builds, and I'm more cautious, I think, than most as far as I would put basically the specials that you At first, I would put the weapons on that, the Freedom Fist. I would put them on and build the blank hulls. I haven't put a lot of thought processes into somebody that's willing to spend a lot of coins. But this gets you to that point because we have not seen the Old Glory yet, which is the Tier 9 engine that goes with this, goes with the Mutineer. So we haven't seen that in action yet. So or we don't even know the stats on this. So I would wait at least until Tuesday for step 1, and then we wait till Friday, Saturday for step 2. In step 2, we actually get to see the targets and see how they work. But
So you're saying tune back to the show next week to get your answer?
What would you do there, Derpy?
Well, I'm just building 4 blanks and 8 weapons or 6 weapons and the new specials.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have a ton of information here. We have 2 new specials, a weapon that we saw that started in pillage, and we've seen the stats on the ship, not the flag. And so how do you move forward without the information associated with the new engine, and then seeing the targets that we're going to see in VXP weekend? Do you want me to display this, Derpy?
Yeah, why don't you, so people know what we're talking about with weapons and specials and stuff like that.
Okay, just making sure you weren't,
Yeah. So I mean, we know for sure we're gonna put the new gun on here. At least 8 of them. I just put on 6 for now because all these 6 slots down here, these 8 slots you can only put Freedom Fist, or you can only put regular weapons and not countermeasures. So these are going to be the new stuff. If you don't have this one, use the one from the raid. And then the 2 specials we got, which there's nothing that that's the Impact Overdrive, that's a limited. And what was the regular one? How was the
Liberty Belt?
Liberty Belt, which has a number 3 next to it. There's nothing that these are sort of comparable to, really, in any meaningful way. In terms of, like, there's nothing that's better than the Liberty Belt. So if you just go that's like 9 days of build time. The hole's half of that. Even if you take in the 30% reduction, this will get you pretty far. And then the new engine.
Let's cut it down to 8 days. Let's cut it down to 7 days.
Yeah.
And then multiply that by 4. So we're already at 28 days before VXP weekend, which is when we get probably the best sorts of information that we're going to get, right?
Yes. Yeah. And like that will answer if we need to go for Hyper 30 or Damage Diffusion System or Guidance Core number 3 or even Agility 4 in that final slot. Or maybe it turns out that the engine somehow isn't stackable with Hyper 30. So that answers that question. The VXP will tell us what countermeasures we need on there. If we need a Cormorant or a Gale or both, or 2 Cormorants or something like that. Armor, you could put on 1 of each and you'd be completely fine. I don't see us needing to go for 4 of one or 4 of the other. Maybe we want to go 3 in 1 or of one type, but 1 armor of each adds in another day and a half of build time. And then the other slots here, one's going to be the Reef Rider. We assume one of these others will be full metal casing. It's
not going to be the Reef Rider.
Or not the Reef Rider. It's the engine that replaces the Reef Rider.
Old Glory.
Old Glory, yeah, that one.
Okay.
So Old Glory instead of this one right here, and then one is probably going to be in a countermeasure special if you need countermeasures, which is something like signal amplification armor. Countermeasure loader is 4. Although if you don't need countermeasures, you could go for a more damage boosting special like Combustion 2, Explosive System 4, something like that. So
but at this point in time, You're making a lot of good statements as far as what could happen, but we don't have the information to make those decisions yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to bet that I'm right, but I'm not going to be coining the ship.
yeah. You're gonna wait till Friday, Saturday of next week, and then you're gonna like, okay, this makes more sense because this stacks with this. This gives us, splash or speed or whatever. That until we see the target, and then we have the whole thing with the scroll down on the right hand side and get to the whole thing with the stealing, or which I prefer to call transfer.
So I took my fleet into a salvage just to see how it worked. I don't know why don't you like the word steal here?
Yeah, it's because we're transferring them. It's but there's no ammo ships in what we've seen. There's not an ammo ship that we can transfer ammo from. So
let me. Why don't we just get an exclusive first look at the weapon here?
I like that 15 forward, 45 forward.
I don't even know what's going on here.
Well, what's going on? Are you still showing my screen?
Yeah. Still showing your screen.
So
I think Patrick was talking about something else. So.
Yeah, it's at 45 forward instead of being weird off to the sides or anything.
So these two ships only have countermeasures on them, which means everything that's going to fire is this new weapon. And they have no specials on them, so they're really slow. But it's gonna target that, and you have some cannonballs. It looks like it's accuracy based instead of splash, and it just fires once, and then you're out of ammo till you steal it. You can see this little blue symbol right here is the ammo symbol.
Transfer is a much friendlier word than steal.
It's a pirate game. We're stealing it.
Okay, loot it. Okay, but yeah. I understand what you're saying. As far as, at least we know at this point that we have 4 built-in. We have ammo built in at this point.
But just one, and it doesn't reload the entire battle. So there's your look at the Mutineer and the weapon.
And on Friday, we're going to see targets that have ammo ships that we can transfer their ammo to these ships in order to get. To get that to work that way, but you already have 4 loaded in, so
one volley that probably has 4 multi-shot is what it looks like, or maybe it's 4 loaded in, and they just have a really low reload time.
Yeah, ammo ship needs to be.
It says max ammo 4 in the bottom right corner here.
Yeah, and then until you get to U3, and I think they add another 4. But yeah, ammo ship has got to be part of the target. Otherwise, this is a really silly thing that they put up there.
But the whole thing is kind of strange, isn't it? Because you're trying to take the ammo at the same time, then it's going to fire. If you got to make sure that arc is not facing them, or you're not in your firing pattern. Otherwise, it's going to destroy the ammo ship.
Yeah, no, that's sort of that was the thing that I looked at, because I'm like, the 45-degree angle, and you got to be at that and how plentiful these things are you gonna, and are they considered something that you are gonna fire at, or are they considered like a friendly ship that you don't shoot at? I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of questions associated with this, and
and the range on this thing doesn't look like it's 115, does it?
Because what's the green ring at?
That's my countermeasures. That's like 30.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh, it might be the same.
Yeah.
So if these ships are ammo ships, and I want to take their ammo without shooting at them instantly, I can't approach head on like this. I have to come in from the side and have my other weapons. They have to run into me.
Assuming that they are considered enemy vessels, and
yes,
You're shooting at
With-
them.
which I'm assuming they will be because we in the Drac Mega. That's an assumption.
Okay.
Yeah, because the thing goes right to the edge of the range of the build of the weapons we have. The built-in goes right to the edge.
Okay. Alrighty. So, built-in goes right. I'm not sure I follow
The
completely.
built-in is the same range as the death charges.
But the built-in has a range of, you said 115.
Here,
The depth charges aren't 115, so
no.
Yeah, unless you got the special ones. Yeah, I'm not really sure I completely follow that. So
Here, I got my screen. I'm showing just against the same 75s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will switch over.
Go ahead, switch over.
Yeah.
See, it's right on the end.
Do we have a reduction in our? The range that we steal from is 115, but the range of this built-in weapon is only 93 or whatever that is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you steal things before you shoot, or you transfer them before you shoot.
Yeah.
That's a narrow window.
But as you upgrade it, it might get bigger.
Yeah, is that anything in the upgrades?
I haven't even looked at it yet.
Okay. So yeah, if that changes, because I don't think I recall the range of the built-in weapon changing. The only I recall is the ability to store more ammo that it transfers from the ammo ships.
Well, I know with the riots, the more you upgraded it, the bigger it got.
I think with the riot, the arc improved, not the range.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yep.
Oh yeah. And these just have one of the limited on them.
It's okay.
The projectile speed looks pretty high on those things. I don't think you're going to miss very often with the with your Gatling guns.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, that I guess again we have to wait till the targets to see if we'll need explosive system 4 to increase projectile speed a little bit and increase splash and decrease spread, so you fire more closely together. Because that's an option on these holes.
Or do we need hydroatomizers?
Yeah, I mean, you can have both of them, I'm sure. And if you're looking for a countermeasure special, the signal amplification armor that we got late with the riots, that was the escalation. That works fairly well. It adds a decent chunk of survival to your builds. The hydroatomizer, let's see, does add 30% concussive reload, which is pretty nice. And this is, again, depth charges should be a concussive weapon, so that will work well. So you can go for more damage with the hydroatomizer or more survival, about 10,000 survival with the signal amplification armor. And the stats on those two that matter are those the same there? I think I need a side-by-side shot to compare. The hydroatomizer nozzle also gives you some countermeasure reload, which will help your cormorants if we need those.
Right. And there's no reload bonus on the amplification armor.
Yeah, that's correct. So you'll have better reload with your countermeasures and your weapons if you go for hydroatomizer nozzle, but better survival if you go for signal amplification armor. Interesting. I need to check how many of hydroatomizer nozzles. I can't check how many hydroatomizer nozzles I have right now because my blueprint lab is upgrading. My Intel lab's upgrading. So I don't know if I need to get any from this raid or not.
You can't get from the drop-down menu?
What was that?
You can't check it from the drop-down menu?
In the raid or?
Yeah, from your base.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's a good idea. Thank you.
Doing a drop down. Okay.
So you can
I'm checking to see if I have
instances.
hydroatomizer nozzles.
Okay. Okay. Is there much else we should be discussing? Let's see. I don't know. You guys let me know. I can switch over because we got less people. Some people left because I've been rotating people, but
Everything I had to say was when I couldn't say it. I have nothing else to say.
okay. KB.
No, well, these ammo ships, sort of reminds me a little bit of the old Manticore raid, where
Yeah.
they were running around with all the enemy ships and they were supplying them. So I presume we'll have to kill them to steal their resources.
Yeah, but at that point in time, I mean, okay, it could go multiple ways. One is that these ammo ships are just providing us, right? Because as you recall, the NPCs, the enemy ships weren't shooting their own ammo ships, were they?
No.
Yeah. So,
No, because they were supplying them. So we had to try and kill them first to cut down on, because I think they were providing the stun missiles from memory, weren't they? You know,
it was some unavoidable stuff that they were firing at us. But what I'm saying is, if they're just supplying us, or are they supplying both sides? We don't know those facts at this point, as far as I know.
No. Well, you'd probably imagine that they'd nearly have to be stationary. You don't want to be driving all over the map just to try and get one before you could actually, fill up enough to shoot anything.
My guess is they're going to be both sides. We'll see who's right.
Yeah, I'm not even guessing. I'm just saying there's possibilities. So let's see. Let me go back to Krakenduck. Yeah, you're still here. So did you mean to be? Okay.
Yeah, because with the signal, you get it to survivals here.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, with the other.
Yeah. So you've lost a lot of the survival.
Yeah.
By switching over.
Just to get more reload.
Yeah, but again, we haven't seen the full glory of the old glory
Right.
as far as what that provides, because we get diminishing returns, but I doubt, because this looks like one of those things that potentially could be, as we increase in upgrade level, that the signal amplification armor might be great at the beginning, but maybe not as great at the end, because that addition of that survival, versus weight versus everything is not as wonderful. So yeah, we'll have to see how things work out. But yeah, signal amplification armor does seem like something that would be definitely something to look at, especially as far as your initial builds.
Yep.
Completely agree with that. So Lady Cat wants us to talk about the gatekeeper.
Okay.
Is that what you said? Does anybody have anything they want to say about the gatekeeper? I'm not really sure what the question is.
She's asking if it's in raid or not, and I don't see it.
I thought it was.
It might be. It's
I thought I saw it in there too.
I thought I did too, but I can't find it.
Yeah, it's in the briefing. It's 6 million, with a maximum reclaims of 3.
Yep, it's definitely in there.
Yeah, if you want to go to
yep, I found it.
Slide 15, Lady Cat, it's in there.
But the deadbolt scattergun is not, which I guess kind of. I'm not sure.
Well, it's not in the top 15, but is it not anywhere?
It's not in the event.
Okay.
I click on the gatekeeper. It says recommended deadbolt scattergun, not in this event.
Okay. Very good. Okay. But the gatekeeper is there. I guess more there for people that don't have them yet, or already have them, but want to get more, and so therefore probably already have the deadbolt scattergun that it's paired with. I guess that's my assumption.
Yeah.
So, Magic Mike, are you trying to share something that we should see, or? I don't know. He's just doing stuff. So, all right. Any parting words, or as far as what we should be doing at this point in time? We've gone through the autoing of the targets for people that don't have the computer or internet performance to do them the way they would want to.
Build your 4 blank Mutineers. At least 3 of them.
Yeah.
Just put a. Yep.
So. Okay.
2 done, 3rd cooking.
All righty. Yeah, and remember, you guys are going to be able to get. Everybody's going to be able to get another set of tokens as far as prior to the XP weekend if you're a little short. So everybody should have. Well, besides Kenny. Besides Kenny, everybody should be able to get 4 blanks out. So, because you know, at least if you watch the show, or if you've already got the ones from, you had a full set of tokens when you walked into the raid, and you also had a full set of chests. And then next week, when the FM pops up, you'll be able to get another set. So along with the build time, you should all be in good shape.
Speaking of the FM next week, get ready to say bye-bye to a target, probably the 141.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because I was a little disappointed as how long. It's 8 days for me. It's 8 days and 16 hours in order to get my flag up to X1 from U3, and they gave us 4. So yeah, that seems like a big chunk of time. Basically close to 5 days between that stretch. So I don't know where we're going to get the rest of it. Are we supposed to spend the 5 days, or are we going to see additional tokens pop up in the next pillage?
No way.
No way what?
No way you'll get extra tokens.
I think we'll probably get tokens next pillage.
In pillage? Because I think
or next raid.
I think they may punish us with the next target.
Oh, they will. Every new target they've added has had an increased damage.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously working on the basis that people are upgrading their hulls, so they don't want it too easy for us.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the 141's the only one left that was really worthwhile doing.
And even when the 141 came out, it wasn't worth doing really because it was higher damage than everything else.
I found the 141 was good because you could set your path pretty easy. You could do it a lot of it with just the waypoints.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But even the upgrades have sort of affected that a little bit now.
Mm-hmm.
Is I find I'm flying past without necessarily killing everything because the bloody things are moving too quick.
Do you have Hyper 30 on your ships?
Yep. So I'm finding I'm having one turret sort of not getting killed completely. So I got to go back to kill that to finish the target off.
So, all right. I think we've probably finished everything up for the evening, and we will talk to you all on Wednesday, if not before. And hope you learned some stuff, and hope you have a good raid, and hopefully they fix the lag. I did get a little clue that they might have seen some issues, but and that they're. But at this point, it's already Friday evening for them. It's about quitting time for the Canadian group, and I think the Australian group it's Saturday there, right?
Saturday, yep.
Yeah, so
no working.
Yeah. So if it doesn't happen soon, I don't know if it's going to happen. So
that's a lot of dud computers out there.
A lot of what computers?
Dud. D-U-D.
Yeah. So all right, everybody. We'll see you on Wednesday, and wish you all the best of luck on the raid, and we'll see you again next Wednesday. Later, people.
Later.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.